Today on Monkey Life, a visit from the vet for one of the park's strangest residents. But it's hard to nail down what's causing his condition.
This one is actually thickened and distorted the whole way down.
The small monkey team lose the battle to save tragic pet trade marmoset Cobra.
Having Cobra coming in and knowing he never had a chance to begin with, that is heartbreaking.
And Capuchin Gizmo and his girls go nuts over a cracking challenge. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Right there, keep her in, get her in. Okay, got it.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's vet day for one of the park's more unusual residents, Brass, a hybrid marmoset who arrived via the pet trade.
He's got some really strange things going on with his nails. He's got a very sort of yellow, crusty coloration around quite a few of his toes and fingernails. We think maybe it's a fungal, maybe it's something else. They do a lot of climbing around on the branching. Obviously, the claws are the things that they're using to grip onto the branching when they're moving about. So it's important that we have a look at that and see if we can't get them looking nice and healthy again.
Brass was rescued with 3 other marmosets in 2013 from a pub in Greater Manchester. 2 have moved on, but Brass and his male friend Evie still live together at the park. And they're a bit of a conundrum for the primate care staff.
They are some sort of weird hybrid marmoset created in the pet trade. We think maybe common marmoset cross silvery marmoset, but we don't really know. They're a very odd pair. Their coloration is really weird. Evie's bright white, Brass is sort of a mixture of white and black. Both of them have got quite a lot of balding, hair loss. They're just very strange-looking monkeys, but beautiful nonetheless.
Steph has brought Brass across to the park's hospital, where local vet David Holler is going to examine him. Once he's been anaesthetised in a specially designed box, David can get to work. He's surprised by the marmoset's overall condition.
It's got nice little muscles on it.
Yeah.
Brass appears in reasonably good health, despite his hair loss. But the cause for concern is the nail infection.
That one's definitely quite thickened the whole way through the nail. So that's the most like a sort of fungally affected nail. This one is actually thickened and distorted the whole way down. And on the verge of coming away.
As David examines each individual nail, some are so infected they fall off in his hands.
We've already lost several toenails, and there are several others that are falling off. It looks like most likely we've got a fungal infection got under the nail. These ones that are coming off anyway, if we remove them, it looks a little bit mean, but it gives us access to this tissue to apply treatment to. We can get our treatment in exactly where it's needed, and hopefully get him on the road to recovery that little bit quicker.
Once he's removed all the infected nails, David treats each nail bed with a non-toxic, antibacterial and antifungal solution.
This is just putting a large amount of it exactly where it's needed. Really helps to deal with infections and promote healing.
While the solution dries, the team take blood samples.
Some of the treatments that we might need to use for fungal disease can impact the liver, so we need to know his liver's working well. We don't often anaesthetise the guys here, so it's good to get a general idea of the health overall, make sure there's nothing in the background that we're unaware of.
Finally, David uses a laser to kickstart the healing process.
Stimulate blood flow, stimulate local immunity, but it also kills bacteria and fungus, so a single treatment today isn't going to be curative, but it's just about taking the opportunity while we've got him here to do as much as we can to get him better as quickly as we can.
Treatment completed, Brass is returned to the box to recover from the anaesthetic. The team are hoping for a steady improvement in his condition in the coming weeks. It's almost 2 weeks since young male orangutan Hujan left Tuan's group to start the next chapter of his life with the youngsters in the nursery. He's now met everyone and settled in well. So today, he's going to take the next big step into the outdoor enclosure.
The key thing is just watching the behaviour, seeing how they get on, and judging the reactions between the group and things like that. So it's all about the dynamics really this morning. So we'll probably be exploring the top half of the enclosure, getting to know his bearings and working out things out there. So hopefully he won't find anything to destroy as well, as orangutans quite often do, but we'll see.
James is concerned that if Hujan does climb up high, he'll be able to see his former family across the way in Tuan's enclosure. He's not sure how the youngster will react, so Tuan and the females are being kept indoors to start with.
We're going to let them out for a short while this morning, and then go on to let Tuan's out, and then it will be a case of judging their behaviour probably a bit later with when him and Roro see each other, and also not just Roro but some of the other characters in the group as well, over Tuan's way that he used to have quite close relationships with Awan, Arme, pretty much all of them to be honest. He had some form of relationship with and play with quite a few of them in the past, so it will be a big moment for him seeing them over there. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Come on in, guys!
The slide is opened, and Bulu Mata leads the group out, followed by Mimi, and then Kayan. In the tunnel, Hujan is still a bit cautious and hangs back.
Come on, H! There he is. You can go out today.
The sight of the others outside encourages Hujan to take a good look.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. It's not that scary, is it?
He summons up his courage and heads out, straight to the climbing frame. He immediately starts to climb up high.
Hujan's one of the best climbers we've probably got in this group after being in Tuan's for quite a while, climbing on the big frame. So he's completely used to the height of the enclosure. This is probably quite low for him, really. So yeah, he's really good that he's gone straight at the top.
Good girl. Right, I'm going to give you some of this, okay?
The primate care team attempt to keep the rest of the group busy with drinks and scatter feeds to allow Hujan time to explore the enclosure. However, someone is determined to chaperone him. Kayan is just 15 days younger than Hujan, and on hand to offer reassurance if needed. But the young male is already growing in confidence, heading back to the tunnel system every now and then, demonstrating he knows his way around.
Good boy, Hujan, good boy.
While he's otherwise occupied, the team take the opportunity to let Tuan's group outside. But how will Hujan react when he gets a glimpse of his previous housemates? And how will they react when they see him up high in an adjacent enclosure? The team needn't have worried.
No massive reaction, to be honest, from Hujan. He 100% saw them all. He was having a really good look at them, but he seemed to be just getting on about his business, and he's still out there now swinging around. Tuan was looking at him very, very intensely, so I'm not really sure what was going through Tuan's head. Obviously, the males, it's all about property and they own everything, so I don't know if there was a little bit of that in his head, but he certainly was looking quite puzzled and quite intense. There was definitely some looks from Roro. Roro, obviously one of the biggest ones, as she was the main foster mum that looked after him for all of this time so far. He is at a natural age now that he would be going away from his mum a bit further in the wild, so I think the group are going to cope okay.
As the morning goes on, Hujan does spend a little time watching his former housemates. But the youngster seems settled with his new life and playmates in the nursery. With so many animals to feed and keep happy and healthy, the park's staff maintain and grow lots of edible plants that can be foraged or fed to the primates. Today, Katie is harvesting some ripe plums for the trio of spider monkeys. They're also going to be given blackberries and rose hips, complete with their prickly stems.
We've got quite a few fruit trees, and yeah, it's really nice because it means that we get free food during the summer for the monkeys, and yeah, it means that we can do things like this so that we can do it as enrichment as well. So just going to take a few branches off, and yeah, just be a nice kind of natural way for them to get some food.
It's a colourful seasonal treat, which the 3 spider monkeys should relish. Katie's hanging the fruits in feeders around the enclosure to encourage Pumpkin, Hickory and Flint to forage and feed as they would in the wild, by suspension feeding. Some treats may be easier to reach than others.
It'll be interesting to see what they think of them. I don't think we've tried them with rose hips before, so yeah, it'll be interesting, especially as they're quite a spiky plant, so they're going to have to negotiate around the spikes. I think especially initially they're going to have a bit of a preference for the plums just because they're so much easier. But yeah, hopefully they'll appreciate the rose hips and they'll actually prove to be a bit of a challenge for them.
With everything set, the slide is opened. The trio take a good look around the enclosure. The brightly coloured breakfast captures their interest immediately. Spider monkeys are frugivores, meaning their diet consists mainly of fruit, so this morning's offering is a feast. Flint attempts to capture a juicy plum first. He hangs upside down, using his long prehensile tail as an anchor, and nimbly plucks one from a branch. Hickory is always a little more cautious, but today he wastes no time harvesting some blackberries, even if they are near ground level. But Pumpkin doesn't take the easy option. Her excellent colour vision spots the bright red rose hips, and despite the prickles, she demonstrates excellent technique to reach them.
Spider monkeys don't actually have thumbs, so they're at a slight disadvantage when it comes to really manipulating things because their hands are more well adapted to just hooking on. But yeah, you could see Pumpkin, she's using her hands to pull the fruit over, so she only has to touch a tiny bit of the plant and just eating them straight from the plant with her mouth. So yeah, she's really smart, and it's a really interesting kind of way to see her doing it. They don't often get spiky foods that are hard to eat, so it's nice to see her do it.
Pumpkin is the boss of the trio and loves her food, often leaving Flint and Hickory at the back of the queue. Having sampled the rose hips, she quickly moves on to the plums.
They know she's the boss. But yeah, it's really nice with things like this. There's like so much to do in there, so much food that everybody's getting plenty.
The trio will have the rest of the day to climb and forage for the fruit, just as they might in their natural habitat, in the rainforests of South and Central America. After all, even greedy Pumpkin can't devour it all in one sitting. The park's newest arrival has spent his first night in his new home. Alison collected male marmoset Clyde from his owner in Fareham, Hampshire yesterday. He's had less than 24 hours to get used to the sights, sounds and smells that will form part of his life from now on. The primate care team are keeping a close eye on the newbie.
It's really important that we get to know Clyde as a person and get to know his personality. But the more that we sit with him, the more we spend time with him, the more we can understand him, the more we can adapt our care to his needs, whether that be dietary based or things he might need in the room extra.
The team know very little about Clyde's background, apart from the information Alison gleaned from his owner.
He is absolutely obsessed with bugs, which is great because it's high in protein. He's an old boy, so it's really important that he, puts on a little bit of weight, starts building up a little bit of muscle. So crickets have gone down a treat. Waxworms, which is great because they're high in fat. So his appetite overall is great. We would be more concerned if he was coming in and he wasn't eating. So yeah, he's eating well. She's got a bit of funny teeth, haven't you, buddy?
It's certainly been a busy year for the small monkey team, with an influx of rescued individuals, all victims of the British pet trade. One of the most heart-wrenching was male marmoset Koba, who arrived with his partner Lola. He was in a terrible state, emaciated, with a broken wrist, a twisted spine due to rickets, and missing half of his tail. The team didn't think he'd survive the first 24 hours.
That tail.
But he proved to be a fighter and for a few months briefly rallied. However, despite all the care and attention lavished on him by the staff, his condition was so bad it couldn't be reversed to give him a good quality of life.
We've had to make the really sad decision to let Koba go. We saw so much progress with him. We managed to get him so much better than he was when he first arrived. But unfortunately, the damage that had been done to him was simply way too extreme. You know, he climbed a peak and got a little bit better. And then we just saw, from getting better, a gradual decline starting because he just couldn't overcome what had been done to him.
It was a real blow for the team.
You know, one of the best parts and worst parts of the job for us is new animals coming in, them being in a state, but knowing, right, we can fix them. We can do something about it, we can make it better. And having Koba coming in and spending so many hours trying to do something for him and make him better, and knowing he never had a chance to begin with, that is heartbreaking.
But despite the anguish of Koba's tragic life and loss, the following days have brought some positive news. Koba's partner Lola has found a new friend. She's been introduced to Colin, a male marmoset whose previous partner also passed away.
He's a lovely boy, she's a lovely girl, and she was just delighted to have company again. It's so, so important, that social interaction. So we've now got a really happy new little pair with Lola and Colin.
It's been quite a turnaround for Lola.
She's gone from an awful little birdcage in a dingy house in a room surrounded by dogs, cats, a barn owl, all these scary other animals, and inadequate care, awful diet, no perching, all the bad things, to 2 big bedrooms, a lovely outside enclosure that's blossomed in the spring, summer with all this leafy greenery, lots of wild insects in there for her to hunt down and catch, a lovely new boyfriend for her to snuggle up with, lots of grooming and interaction, because as much as she loved Koba, he couldn't really groom her. He couldn't follow her around. He couldn't join her in threatening the neighbours and being part of a territorial team. And now she has all of that with Colin. She's doing so well. She's put some weight on. Little bit on the chunky side, I think, but we'll have to watch that. But other than that, she has a life now. Instead of an existence, she has a life.
It's going to be a cracking afternoon for Gizmo's group of 6 Capuchins. Primate care member Donna is giving them a selection of nuts still in their shells, including walnuts, hazelnuts and Brazils. The problem for the Capuchins will be how to crack them open. Donna is providing them with all the tools they need.
We're giving them some quite big rocks and stones, which is something that we don't normally do because obviously they have access to the windows, but Gizmo's group don't actually have a window in their enclosure, so it's something that we can give them. They love playing with the stones and bashing things in here that they find anyway. These are a little bit bigger than normal, so that's going to be something different. We've also got quite a big boulder that we've added in here as well, and we're going to give them some whole nuts. So we're hoping that they'll use and find the tools that we've given them, which they'd have to in the wild, to crack open the nuts.
The Capuchins at the park get nuts and seeds as a regular part of their diet. But today, they're being encouraged to develop a skill their clever wild counterparts are known for: finding and using tools to break open the food.
So this big rock that we've got down on the ground is essentially their anvil. So we're hoping that's what they'll use as a base to crack the nuts open. And we've got some smaller rocks of varying different sizes and shapes that they can use to bash the nuts open. So we might see a variation in which rock they decide to use. We're putting some of the nuts in and around this area as well, just, you know, to give them a bit of a hint, this is what they're supposed to do. But we'll spread the nuts around as well, so then it'll be interesting to see if they actually bring those back to the anvil or if they just decide to use something else in the enclosure. Here you go, Jack!
Chuck is the newest member of the group and is let out first.
Goodies!
Hello.
She's still unsure of her ranking and sometimes hangs back when there's high-value food involved. To give her the opportunity to share in the bounty, she's given some time alone before the others join her. And today, she's trying to make the most of it.
Yes, Chuck is tapping away. She has, though, chosen the hardest nut just on a wooden pole, so I think she could be tapping for a little while, but she'll persevere, she'll get there in the end. She seems happy with her find, so I think she'll get there.
While Chuck shells her walnut, the rest of the troop are let out to see if they can crack the puzzle. The sound of tapping and happy cooing fills the enclosure.
Oh, good girl, Ginger.
The walnuts seem to be a popular choice, and the group discover, with a bit of work, the hazelnuts can be prized apart using their teeth.
Everyone's gone straight to the nuts. There's lots of tapping everywhere, which is really good. They're obviously very interested. There's lots of happy noises, so that's always really great.
Most of the troop are using the platforms to bash the nuts. Not quite the technique Donna was hoping for. But clever Gizmo is the star of the day. He's using the large anvil stone to try and smash open a hazelnut. Good effort, but he needs to work on his technique. Gizmo's overcome his pet trade background, when he was kept in a filthy shed in a back garden, to lead his own small troop.
Some of his behaviours are a little bit different to the rest of the other Capuchins, and a lot of that has come from when he was kept in the pet trade. But he does really well, and when we give him something that he absolutely loves, onions is one of his favourite things, but nuts he absolutely loves as well. So although sometimes he can be a little bit quiet, he'll take himself off from the group, I think this he'll absolutely love, and I think he'll be central in amongst all the girls.
And they're loving it too. In fact, you could say Gizmo and his girls have gone nuts over today's task. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison looks forward to the prospect of a new species at the park. Baboons.
I just think they're great. Jeremy will love them to bits. They're Hamadryas baboons. They're absolutely fantastic.
And a sunny treat delights Chippy's woolly monkey troop.